Welcome to the Teaching Unfiltered podcast. I'm your host, Cindy Homberg-Smith. Think of me as that teacher bestie navigating together the magical moments and messiness of teacher life. If you are looking to upgrade your life, whether that's inside or outside of the classroom, then you have come to the right place. It's my intention in this podcast to bring you all the topics, because as we know, teachers are a big mixed bag of interests after that lanyard comes off at the 3 p.m. bell. So please come pull up a chair around my table and let's talk teacher life at Teaching Unfiltered. This podcast is sponsored by Lizard Learning Publishing. Rightio, let's jump right into today's episode. Hey, it's great to have you back for another episode of Teaching Unfiltered. In today's episode, we're diving into the world of goal setting with actionable steps. Now, I want practical advice when I listen to coaches or topics on a podcast, and this is what I'll do for you each week as much as I possibly can. Hopefully, I also stay on track with what I want to say. If you have heard my other episodes, and if you haven't, please jump on over there and check them out. You will know that I've been recently diagnosed with ADHD. Please stand by as I navigate how this will play out as I produce a podcast for you. And it's important that I share this information because you might have ADHD too. You might not be brave enough yet to face it for yourself. You might have wanted to be diagnosed, but you're too scared. You might have a little one with ADHD, or you need to look into diagnosing your child with ADHD. But with me opening up and normalizing it, I hope it can empower you to live with ADHD confidently too, and speak about it, because in speaking about these taboo topics, we start to normalize them. Just like mental health years ago, in the past, mental health issues were often stigmatized. There was a reluctance to openly discuss them. If someone said that they had depression, remember what that did to everyone? They were ostracized because people didn't know what it was for the most part. They faced judgment and discrimination. There was just a general lack of understanding, basically, just surrounding these issues. However, in recent years, it's been fabulous to see that there's been such a positive shift in attitudes towards mental health. Many societies are now encouraging open conversations about mental health, aiming to reduce stigma and increase awareness. This normalization of mental health discussions now is fantastic. We have designated mental health days. We have Are You OK Day. It's just so good to see the positivity now around this. Now, it reflects a broader societal change, I guess, for the positive in breaking down taboos and promoting understanding and empathy. And I'd love to see this with every diagnosis out there, and especially ADHD, because it's obviously dear to my heart. Personally, in my case, making it aware that a 47-year-old female can be given this diagnosis and think that it's actually the best thing ever is pretty impactful. I might give someone out there a little bit of courage to take on their own self-discovery with it too, or another superpower that you might have, like ASD or OCD. Like these diagnoses, they're not a disability in my eyes. They're actually superpowers that make us unique, allows us to offer something amazing to others around us that don't have the uniqueness that we have. I often wonder, if I didn't have ADHD, how could I get a child ready for school, get the lunches done, get all the afternoon sport organized, run a publishing company, do the ironing, do the dishes, clean the house, contact bookstores and meet the owners and manage the socials at Lizard Learning. Well, Kerry Ann does, but I have to edit it and make sure everything going out is correct. You know, the invoicing and the answering the emails and the DMs, writing, producing, recording a weekly podcast, relief teach on a day that my local school needs me, have time for myself, keep up with my friends, start a master's degree. My ADHD is my superpower. What diagnosis have you been given that is your superpower? DM me privately if you don't want others to see this, or if you want to chuck it up in your stories, tag me, then the World Wide Web will definitely see it, and then we can open up that conversation a lot more and reach more people. That's what this podcast and my message is all about. Teaching Unfiltered, as you know, if you have listened to the last 4 episodes, it's a real coaching kind of podcast for teachers or anyone who wants the power of positivity and empowered mindset in their life, because motivation will not help you start, but taking one small action will. Then that momentum hits to want to do more. I have no idea what I'm doing here at this podcast. All I know is that the soul whisper that talked to me every day to share my perspectives and have a voice for teachers was just too loud not to do it. Now I have a goal to have an impactful, inspiring, and educational podcast that helps millions. How this happens, it's just going to be one episode at a time. That's the only strategy that I have. And it's the only strategy or a big strategy that I have for you, as this episode is all about goal setting. The intention is to get you achieving your personal and professional goals too, just like mine was to start this podcast, and to make it a priority. In this episode, you can find the joy in your life, both professionally, but most importantly, personally. You can find that passion that you're seeking. Now, teaching, we know it is a hamster wheel of doing the work, planning for the work, marking the work, overthinking the work, and being given more work to do. It's so hard to get out of our heads and all the jobs to do. But change will only happen, guys, if you intentionally make it happen. Goals can only be achieved if you take one small consistently toward them. Bringing this podcast to you today, I have to intentionally do the work to get it from my head and into your ears. What I need to do, I need to think of a topic, but a topic that's going to resonate with you, that you're going to love, and that I have experience in, and that I also love to talk about. I then have to write notes on the topic. Then I have to set up my microphone. Then I have to find time around my daughter, around a new little puppy, around my own personal life, and around my business world, and around all the things, to sit down and actually then record the podcast to my microphone and my device. Then it has to come out from my device, and then it has to go to my assistant, who will then jazz it up and then bring the podcast and upload it to wherever it has to go so it reaches your ears. Those are the little steps that I need to do for you to hear what I have to say. It's just one little task all the time that actually gets us to that destination of our goal. Change doesn't have to be a big song and dance, though. In fact, the easiest way for change is by doing one small action each day consistently. This forms habits. We'll be drawing inspiration today from the wisdom of Napoleon Hill. He's the author of Think and Grow Rich. You might have heard this book before. And Earl Nightingale. He is a prominent self-help author and motivational speaker. I'm guessing as I bring this world of personal development, self-education, empowerment topics such as learning where you might have some limiting beliefs as a teacher and how to eliminate them, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, those feelings of not being good enough. That's what I suffer with a lot. Those elements of spirituality like visualization, manifestation, positive thinking, meditation, what else? Mindfulness and well-being. Now, for the teachers who might need to start from absolute scratch on some of this self-education stuff, if you are super, super new, I will include as much as I possibly can the titles of books that have helped me. Then you can venture off on your own self-discovery to learn at your own pace and free will. I really can't go into every single little detail about these books because I did want to try and keep these episodes to about that 30 minutes, that commute to or from work. But if I mention these as much as I can, these titles or podcasts that I listen to, etc., that have helped me, then you can go on your own self-discovery and learn more things that you want for yourself for your personal development. Time for a quick break, but I will be right back with today's episode. We are so proud to say that the Teaching Unfiltered podcast is sponsored by the 10 Quick Questions a Day program and the Teacher Mastermind Members Hub, run by my company, Lizard Learning, the only daily and consistent whole school-based teaching program to revise, consolidate and reinforce the fundamental basics in literacy and numeracy. It only takes 20 minutes to cover over 10 curriculum areas, giving you the peace of mind that you will see gaps in learning instantly. There will be no more sitting around in your room at the 3 p.m. bell. You know with confidence that you have covered all the fundamentals in 2 very important learning areas every day for 40 weeks when you implement the 10 Quick Questions a Day program into your classroom. The program is based on the science of learning, so each page is designed for explicit and guided instruction for the continual practice and revision daily our kids need to truly understand and succeed in their learning. Dramatically increase your students' confidence and results without you having to plan and write and create or take even more time away from the things that you love. Saving your sanity in this done-for-you must-have teaching resource. The questions are actually fun. So if you're educating a child today, you have got to check out lizardlearning.com. And personal growth. So Think and Grow Rich is a classic self-help and personal development book. It was first published in, I believe, 1937. It outlines a set of 13 principles and a philosophy of success, emphasizing the power of the human mind, setting clear goals, and maintaining a positive mental attitude. There's no time in history teachers need this than now. This book, it's the staple that I have next to my bed. I use it in my morning pages, which I have talked about in a previous episode. If you haven't seen or heard that episode, I go to my huge pile of personal development, self-educational, empowerment, spiritual, business books. Each morning, I will randomly grab one. I will flip the pages and then I will open to a random page and I will read that page. And this is the message from the universe for that day that I need to focus on. And usually it's always the empowering words that I need to hear. And I've really tapped into Think and Grow Rich a lot when I do my morning pages. Let me know if you do try this method for yourself. You might have heard it in the other episode and have tried it a few times. Now, I've done this practice since 2006. It powers up my mindset. It sets me on a positive path for the day. It helped me tremendously as a teacher because no matter what a parent complained about, no matter what a child did, no matter what a colleague might have said, I couldn't be rattled because my positive mindset was full doing this practice each day. My cup for my mindset and positivity was absolutely full. So Earl Nightingale, while he's not really directly related to the book, he often discussed similar principles and ideas that align with Hill's work, such as the importance of clear goals and a positive mindset. Napoleon Hill, he basically believed that there are only two known methods of changing a belief or an attitude. The first one was through an emotional impact. This could be the result from a significant life event like a divorce or a death or a near-death experience, moving house, having a baby, or anything even traumatic. This was relevant in my case. In 2004, it was a very toxic relationship with a narcissist. Narcissism, if you don't know what it is, it's a personality disorder that involves a person having a very self-centered, arrogant thinking and a profound lack of empathy and a grandiose way of thinking that they're better than anyone else. Because they are so insecure, they actually can't stand the slightest idea that they might be wrong. They refuse to see that they have any problems and will often gaslight you to believe that you're the problem. Like, you need to calm down. Why are you acting this way? I never said that. You're making things up. It started, in my case, I started to think I was going mad. And other things that they will do is go into a rage or give the person the cold shoulder. Like, all these signs of emotional and mental abuse. But yeah, this was a pretty traumatic time for me that I lived for around 6 years. I lived with this. I'm still healing from this experience and doing all the inner work. And I feel that, boy, I'm even an expert in personality disorders too, living through that. But it was this relationship that brought me, it was a marriage that brought me to find the personal development world, which has brought me my biggest love, which is the creation of Lizard Learning. I would go through all of that again to land where I am today and to be able to connect with my teacher audience now through this podcast. Like they say, your mess is your message. And I've definitely had to deal with a lot of messiness while putting on the performer's face as a teacher. Now, you might be in a similar situation too, where you've had to deal with just the worst situations that are happening personally, but you still have to front up in front of those kids and put on the performance of a lifetime. Now, this podcast, it's so important to me that we really connect and hold a safe container for us to get to know each other and to talk all the messy topics too. Sometimes a school environment is very toxic and definitely not a place to confide into anyone. Maybe you don't have a teacher bestie. Maybe you aren't at a very supportive school. Please DM me and tell me what messiness you were in or you might be in now that has brought you to look for your own personal development, spirituality, or your mindset growth work. I would love to hear your story. If you don't feel comfortable sharing it with someone at work or a family member or a friend, please dive in personally into the DMs. Can message you back. We can have a chat. If you want to really open the discussion and be able to help other teachers, then please just tag me on Instagram at lizard_learning, and we can really open up the discussions about all of these things. Now, me working on my own inner demons, my self-worth, my confidence, my extreme limiting beliefs, this has only made me a better teacher. I am so thankful for this emotional impact that Napoleon Hill talks about, because it was this situation that has brought me to you. Now, the second method, which Hill discusses in his book, is autosuggestion or spaced repetition. Autosuggestion, it's a powerful technique. It's often used in advertising through catchy jingles, or even in the classroom back in the day, like memorizing times tables. Now, it involves the constant repetition of small pieces of information. Hill used this method to instill positive beliefs and attitudes. For example, using affirmations. This is a great way to shift an old belief to a new belief. That is an example of autosuggestion. It could be things like, I wrote down a few. I am a great teacher. I'm a positive teacher who makes a great difference every day. I am living my dream. I'm living in my dream home by this time next year. I'm surrounded by people who love me and want the best for me. Everything I ask for comes easily and without issue to me. Now, autosuggestion, it not only helps us remember things, but it also changes our attitudes, our behaviors, results, and ultimately leads to success. It can change our attitudes and behaviors, obviously, through having these positive affirmations and saying, I am, because you're already acting as if, you're already putting yourself, your energy and your vibe into the feelings of already having it. He outlined 13 principles in his book, and today we'll focus on the first one, which is desire. It's particularly relevant to teachers and can move the needle on bringing those things that you want very quickly into your life. Our example, though, that we are going to use is, and it's very bizarre to be talking about this in the money world, in the teaching world, I just blew it, is talking about money. That is going to be our big goal setting task, how to get it, how to reach for more of it. Now, it's this stigma around teachers that it's shameful to ask for more money, basic resources for our classroom, or to have a nice, expensive things. I want to empower teachers to have a voice around these issues that are perceived to be unprofessional to talk about. I don't really know any teaching podcast out there that is talking about raising the awareness of our money mindset. But today, this is the episode that's going to change all of it for teachers. Plus, it's only fitting I talk about this on today's podcast because South Australian teachers are striking today for better pay. I don't know how they went, but I hope you guys get it. Please DM me. Let me know how you went in getting that money that you deserve. Now, let's power ourselves up over the topic of money, because teachers are no longer fluffing about on this topic as we hit crisis point to retain teachers. Now, teachers can ask for more money and not be ridiculed for it. This idea that we work for the love of it is absolute nonsense. Of course, we wouldn't be in teaching if we didn't enjoy the school environment, if we didn't love working with kids, or some aspect that brings some kind of joy to our working day as a teacher. But I can assure you, we are not teaching for free. We are normalizing these conversations at Teaching Unfiltered. Now, let's be honest, money is essential in all of our lives. So no matter who is here listening to this podcast, wherever you are on your teacher life timeline, you could be a teacher wanting to transition out of a career that you might be a person, ready to transition out of your career at 45 years of age to head into teaching. You might be a new grad. You might be in your 10th year of teaching. Hey, you might be a retired teacher heading out of the profession. When great people like teachers have money, they do great things with it. They invest in their communities. They donate to fundraisers. They start up campaigns. They feed their students who don't come to school with lunch. We had a whole group of kids when I was teaching full time that didn't come with lunch, and we would all make my teacher aide, the teachers in the special needs unit is what they called it back then. We would all be making sandwiches or buying apples and fruit and things like that, putting it into the kids' bags so they thought that their parents had actually put food in their lunch boxes. When teachers have money, then they can do really good things with it, like doing things like that. They can look after family members. They become carers for family and close friends, and they provide more for their loved ones. If money weren't an issue, I know for certain Our kids at school would benefit even more because we would certainly give more to our classrooms and students if we had more funds to work with as teachers. It's crucial to normalise conversations about money for the teaching community. Yes, it's a noble profession. Yes, we do a lot for our kids, but we can also expect to be paid well for the job that we do, and we need to remove the stigma around it and why we shouldn't. But teachers also have to stop acting like martyrs and doing all the things, because we will continue to be piled with jobs with no extra compensation. The next time that you say yes to a job that you should be saying no to, just think about how you are continuing to devalue our profession. We need to power ourselves up so this profession becomes professional, and it looks like that to society, just like doctors and lawyers and psychologists. Now, back to the goal setting conversation this episode is about, using that topic of money as our example. Collectively, if we are all operating on a higher frequency of knowing our worth and expecting more, after listening to the ideas in this podcast, hopefully we will individually become more confident, more willing to have these money conversations in the staff room. You'll be empowered to ask for those resources that you are needing, more willing because of our self-belief that we are going to grow here at Teaching Unfiltered, to step in bravely and courageously to ask for more literacy resources or maths boxes or extra art supplies, because we know we are worth asking for those items that help us for our jobs, for goodness sake. Like, it's not as if we're asking for this because we want to take it home. These are resources to do our job effectively. We will start to operate on a higher frequency, which attracts the things that we are thinking about, and it shifts our entire consciousness once we start to believe we are worth these things, or when we believe that we are worth asking for more money. If we can do this then as an entire profession of millions of us, then we can really shift this teaching profession in a big way. Now, I have just got so super fired up talking about this, so time for a quick drink of water and an ad break, and I'll be back in a minute to talk about desire. Now, the starting point for all achievement is desire. You have everything in you to receive what you want. Just like pursuing that degree at uni that you did, your mindset plays a significant role in whether you'll succeed or not. Think back to when you really wanted that teacher badge. How did you feel? You desired it badly, you set the intention to get it, and you took small daily action to get that degree. If you believe you'll finish your degree, then you will. If you doubt it and you expect failure, that's likely what you'll get. Mike Dooley says, thoughts become things. Let's make them positive ones. If you think that you are going to have an awful day with that spirited kid, well, you probably will. But if you shift your mindset to positive and you shift your energy, and this is how the universe helps to bring about more positive situations and change. Even if you're listening to this podcast right now and it's the afternoon and it's 1 o'clock or 1:10 and you've just hit your second break, just think about, let's say you've had a really awful day, just stop for a second and then just have some little affirmations that say, this afternoon is going to be fantastic. Joshua is going to walk in positive. I'm going to have an excellent afternoon with Josh. Just change something. The conversations that you're having in your head, just do it for me quickly and just see what the next hour will bring you when those kids come back in. Or you might not be in the classroom. You might be somewhere doing something else. Then just go and change your thoughts for a moment and just tap back into the DMs at Lizard Learning and let me know how it went and see if something shifted and something changed. Now, Napoleon Hill's first step in achieving your desires, then, it's to decide. People aren't getting any goal that they want because most people haven't even decided what it is. Know the directions that you're going in. If you don't have a goal, it's like aiming the arrow into the air and hoping that it'll hit the target. That's never going to happen. But yes, I get it. With this soul-sucking job as a teacher, I know that you've lost yourself. There is no time to spend even 5 minutes thinking about yourself or what you want. But please, I implore you that you set time aside and start. Because our episode focus is on money, I need you to get that pen and paper out now, and you are going to decide exactly how much money you wish to bring into your life, down to the dollar and the cent. I know that we're tired, we're run down, we're exhausted at the end of the day, and that there isn't a second to even think about anything that we desire, we feel completely physically, mentally, and emotionally drained. I understand that. However, this is going to change here at this podcast, and that's why we're here. You are going to just stop right now and you're going to do this exercise, because you know that when my voice stops and we come to the end of this episode, that there is 100 jobs already waiting for you. Please stop for a moment and dream of this life that you want. Value yourself enough to want what you want. If you are always doing what you've always done, you always get what you've always gotten. Now, that is a quote from the inspirational speaker Tony Robbins. Go over to his Instagram, go over to his website and tap into, I think, probably 30 years more of motivational and inspirational talks that he has done. Make the decision today that you are going to focus sometime every day, even if it's a minute, even if it's 2 minutes, to focus on your money goals, because that's the focus today. Because I chose money as our focus for the collective goal setting exercise that we're doing in this podcast, assigning a specific dollar amount to your goals that will now trigger unexpected financial opportunities. You will start to explore and get creatively thinking of all the ways that you can get more money. It might be a garage sale. You might start to think of, you could sell some items on Facebook Marketplace. You might start that side hustle that's been a soul whisper to get started on. You might apply for a second job. You might apply for that higher paying job. You might start to tutor a few kids a week. It doesn't have to be through lottery wins or $1 million inheritances, by the way. Instead, just start by looking for discounts or little unexpected savings in your daily life. Every discount, no matter how small, it's a sign of abundance, and it should be acknowledged with absolute gratitude. A little example in my life, I buy the little Master Food curried sausage egg sachets, sausage sachets today, and I bought some today, and they were 2 for 1. Every time I receive a small little money win such as this, I say, thank you, universe. Money comes to me easily and frequently. So you look at teaching resources to buy, and there is 50% off, which is happening time to time at Lizard Learning, www.lizardlearning.com. Maybe go and check out the shop today. It might be the universe, and that you're meant to be tapping into this episode today because we've got some big savings going on. I don't know. But the next idea of Napoleon Hill's is determining what you're willing to give in return to receive this amount of money. Money, it's an unlimited resource that flows to us and through us. It's just energy. When you give money, then you often receive it back from other avenues. Every time I give, I will receive more sales at Lizard Learning, or I'll be offered a coffee by somebody. I'll walk along the street and I'll find $5 on the ground. I will be rummaging for something on the couch and I will find $2. It's vital to become aware of even the smallest ways that money starts coming into your life now. Now, they call this the law of reciprocity. It's that belief that when you give freely and generously, then the universe responds by bringing more abundance and positive energy back into your life. Acts of giving, it also brings about positive energy and those feelings of feeling good. When we're in that good mood and those feelings of feeling good, it transmits positive vibes out into the universe. The universe is a huge transmission tower that is tuning into our feelings. Feel good and watch what happens with that money that you want to manifest. Next, choose a specific date by which you want to have amassed this amount of money. Create a plan outlining how you'll achieve your goal and start working on it immediately, whether you feel ready or not. Remember, I was never going to be ready to start this podcast, but I've really wanted to do it. It's been a goal. You are never going to be ready to start. So the best thing to do is just start today, forget the perfectionism, and just give it a go. I want you to write down all of the above, whatever it is that you want, in a clear statement in the present tense. I'll give you an example. By November the 29th, I am so happy and grateful that I'm receiving $2,000 extra into my bank account that comes in via many sources with harm to none. It's really important that you put that out there. So we're not harming anyone. Nobody's going to get hurt in us receiving this money. The universe listens and it can be very specific. You don't want to earn that $2,000 because you had a car accident and you were paid out for damages. Be very careful and be very, very specific. Now, my absolute favorite one is to visualize. Visualize your life as if you already possess that desired amount of money and feel great about having this new amount of money. Yes, even if you are broke now. No good comes from negative thinking. I was an overthinker. I am still a recovering perfectionist. Looking back on all that worry and all that stress and fretting about not having money to pay for uni book, that never helped. Why not just be happy instead? I think, well, I may as well just put magic out to the day and say that, geez, today is going to bring me magical things instead of fretting because I've never gotten anything that way. What are you doing the day that this money is seen in your account or that you realize it's yours? Visualize like a movie in your head. What are you wearing? Who are you with? See that end like it's already yours and feel great about it. If it's an extra budget that you're needing for playground equipment for your preppies, picture opening the new sporting equipment. See the kids kicking the soccer balls about, laughing and enjoying that new equipment. Feel it into what you want, and it's more likely that it will come. Now, I remember visualizing the first sale at Lizard Learning. It was $19.97, and I pictured it so clearly before it was a reality. So what have you wanted? See it as yours well before it is. Go to that place again with this new money desire. Was it your car that you are driving that you always visualized that you always wanted it and now you have it? What about maybe it's an engagement ring? Maybe it's that new handbag or a holiday destination of a lifetime that you've enjoyed. Maybe it's the birth of a baby or a new home or the year level that you always wanted to teach or a holiday unit that you've wanted to buy. Think of something that you've wanted and that you've already got now and picture those feelings of what you felt when you really wanted it but didn't have it quite yet and put that now to this new money goal that you're after. Now, let's shift our focus to Earl Nightingale's approach to achieving your goals. Nightingale, he suggests that writing down your goals on a card and reading it hundreds of times a day is the way to go to reaching your goals. This repetition, it imprints your goals into your subconscious mind. It changes neural pathways to help believe a different belief. Everything eventually, so it will be sort of making this a habit to believe this new thought. As we know, habits significantly influence our behavior, changes our thoughts, and our habits can lead to positive changes, which is crucial in achieving your goals. Now, time for pen and paper again. Are you ready to write your intention statement that you will repeat 100 times a day if you have to? This could be an intention statement that you could use. Obviously, put it into your own situation. I am so happy and grateful now that I have an extra $1,400 in my account by Christmas Day. It could be $63,000 for the house deposit by January 2027. I receive a 4% increase in my teacher's pay by December 2024. Now, this is just a funny one because this is actually on its way for Aussie teachers, or well, for Queensland teachers anyway. But hey, why not keep affirming it? Ask for whatever you feel you can achieve. Can I have a lottery win of $1 million tomorrow? Well, that's probably not the best intention because an intention has to have a strong, empowering, positive, it's going to happen feeling behind it. If you don't have that behind it, that you're going to receive $1 million by tomorrow in a lottery win, then it's best to just redirect that intention to something that you believe that you can achieve. From here, after setting our reasonable intention that we feel is achievable for us, we are going to take daily small actions. Take at least one action every day towards achieving your goals. It could be as simple as reading an article, listening to a podcast, reading a book, attending a workshop, writing one page of the book that you are wishing to publish, working on your side hustle business, or putting away 10 into a savings account. It's really the simple things. There is no excuse to say that no one in my life believes in goal setting, so why bother doing this? Or I have no one to help me with changing my mindset. You do, and that's me for the time being anyway. When you start putting these goal setting intentions out, tapping into more personal development on these topics, watch how the universe conspires in your favor to bring you more people situation, and events to help you on your journey. All sorts of people will start to cross your path who are also on this journey of self-education. If all you have is me to start to help you with shifting from a person who is negative and can't see a way out of your current situation in your teacher life, then tap into my positivity and my energy. I have enough for everyone until you can grow the confidence and gain some knowledge to have it for yourself. You could join my coaching program is another great way to help yourself out of a situation that you want to change. Invest in yourself, dig into your pocket because you are worth it, and get personal one-to-one support. Love yourself enough to invest in your dreams, your goals, and your desires for change. Tap into my vibe and my energy and get into my personal circle. You are the result of the 5 main people that you hang around. So I love that coaching question that's been used on me as well. And it is, where will you be in 12 months' time if you don't take action to somehow change? If you did seek help today, where would you be in 12 months' time if you decided to change? Powerful questions. So I have business coaches. I have mindset coaches. My daughter has a shot put coach. She has a netball and touch footy coach and a swimming coach. You might have a personal trainer for your fitness. There are now pedagogy coaches in schools and reading coaches. These same principles to have a coach on board go for your personal development as well, your mindset and your goal setting. A coach helps us to see a way when we are too deep into seeing it for ourselves. They help us see the trees instead of the thick forest. Most of the time, we can only see that huge forest ahead. However, it only takes navigating one tree at a time that will help us through that forest. If you're interested in coaching, then check out the links below to connect with me. I can help you as a teacher navigate moving into a new career, navigating the classroom. Maybe you're a teacher with ADHD that needs support. Check the link in my bio and connect with me, and I can help you on your coaching journey. Now, prices are very reasonable at this stage, but these are only initial prices, and I'll be definitely significantly increasing these prices because, well, I have to practice what I preach. I know my worth, and I know the shifts and the change that I can create in someone's life to completely change the trajectory of where they are to where they want to be. I know that I can help you bring joy back into your life and be in a completely different place next year to know where you are now. And this is worth investing it in for yourself and for me to charge for this work that I am so honored to do for others. Now, the last thing on our goal setting journey is to celebrate your milestones. As you progress towards your goals, celebrate your accomplishments along the way. The 10 cents that you find on the ground, say, thank you, universe. Money comes to me easily and frequently. Keep the faith and become aware. Stop living in a daze. Start to take note of what good comes to you each day and be grateful for that half-price laundry detergent or the money left in the meter at the car space. Always hold the mindset that more and more is on its way. Incorporating these techniques of Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale into your teaching career, which are desires for a goal, being a giving person, singing your goals each day on a card or reading them each day, your money mindset can transform your goals into reality. By persistently applying autosuggestion through positive affirmations, defining your main purpose, and carrying your goals with you to read 100 times a day, you'll be on the path to achieving more money, more joy, not only a teacher life, but after that 3 p.m. bell too. Remember, it's the combination of conscious effort, the power of subconscious mind, small actions each day, and belief that you're worth it and what you're asking for that will lead to success. Now, I'll be back with my last words after a little water stop for a moment. Now, to wrap things up, here is a relatable quote. The only limit to your realization of tomorrow will be your doubts of today. So Franklin D. Roosevelt. So let go of your doubts. Set your goals. Know your chief definite aim of what you want. Feel what you want as already yours and make your teaching life more abundant and wealthy, whether that's inside or outside of the classroom. Now, please share this episode. It will help me grow, which I would be so thankful and appreciative for, so I can impact more teachers with the mindset, tips, and strategies will have them changing their teacher life in whatever way they see this happening for themselves. And DM me at Lizard Learning. Tell me what came into your reality after practicing these simple goal-setting strategies to see more money in your teacher life. Now, I love nothing more than seeing your messages. Don't be shy to jump into my DM and share your teacher wins. Until next time, keep setting and achieving your money goals. Thank you for listening today. I take your time very seriously and appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. Now, before you go, please take a quick minute to rate and give a 5-star review. Our little podcast community that you and I are building together. Your review will help me so much to reach more teachers to help and support. Now, until next episode, you can head to the website, Lizard Learning, for all the resources to empower your teacher life. And I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, if you have enjoyed my podcast so far, I please ask you to subscribe, rate and review wherever you listen. This helps us reach more listeners to inspire, motivate and empower. I encourage you to tag your friends and give the podcast a 5-star review, as this will really help this little podcast grow. If you find any value today, please take a screenshot of the episode with the comment that resonated and share on Instagram at lizard_learning. My love language are words of affirmation, so I love receiving your messages, your kind words, and to know that I'm bringing you content that will move the needle from where you are to where you wish to be in teacher life. Thank you so very much for listening.